Revolution of Wagner, the wonderful emergence of the new sort of modern attitude to art and life that comes with the wonderful designs of Hoffman. You've seen Klimt, you've seen Sheila, but in this room we really get to our two curators, and Christian Victorian, were understanding that in Vienna there was more than one way to embrace the modern life. Now, if you embrace the way in which Hoffman wanted you to live, it was to embrace the total work of art. And you've seen how much illustrated through the work of the various artists associated with the Wiederwerkstätte, the Vienna workshops. But here we have the other, I think, part of the exhibition, and that is that this time in Vienna was very much a story about people. And it was the intersecting of many, many families. It was the coming together of many, many different people in terms of the fact that Vienna had grown from, say, a city of 500,000 people to 2 million people in a very short space of time. There were lots of struggles and intersections occurring, and certainly the Gallia family were very much part of that. And I'm standing here with Tim Bernhagen, who of course is a direct descendant of the Gallia family. It's a wonderful story of this family who supported Hoffman. They supported the idea of the total artwork. When they designed their new apartment, they got Hoffman to come on board. And of course, Hermine, when it was time to have her portrait taken, as all the fashionable women in Vienna were doing, of course it was this fabulous Gustav Klimt that we have before us. And this was exhibited in the Secession exhibition of 1903. And when you came past near where the Fritz is, you might have noticed by Coleman Moser. When this was displayed in the it was in a little vignette with two of those Coleman Moser chairs on either side of her. But here she is. She's come back to Melbourne from the National Gallery in London, and we're absolutely delighted to have her. You can see she's a very modern woman. She's wearing the reform dress, that wonderful kind of floating freeform dress. She looks very beautiful, and indeed, I think, Tim, you must be very proud to have your great-grandmother here on the walls of the National Gallery with the furniture boudoir. As I said, there are two ways to modernism, and this is, of course, if we direct our gaze to the other side of the room, there you'll see another amazing family, another amazing story, because this is furniture that belonged to the Langers, and the Langers, of course, were related to the Gallias, but in fact when it came to fitting out their apartment, they didn't go with Hoffman, they went with Adolf Loos. And Loos, of course, whilst he was totally modern and taking us in a very, as you can see, simplified and functional way, he nevertheless felt that with the emergence of the individual, and that's the big story, if you like, in the whole of Vienna at that time, you have Freud, you have new sexuality, you have women emerging in new aspects to freedom. And of course, for Loos, it was to say the individual can make their own choice. They don't have to have the total artwork. They can have a chair that resembles a Chippendale, or they can have a bit of Biedermeier in their house, and that too is the expression of the individual. The Langer apartment too belongs to the National Gallery Victoria. It came from their descendants. Both the Langers and the Gallias, of course, left Europe at the time of the Nazi sort of emergence in Vienna and in Europe in general, and made their way, in terms of the Gallias, to Sydney, but we've been wonderfully endowed with this fabulous Loos furniture by the Langer family. So it's a great moment for the NGV.
Well, thanks, Francis, very much. And we're almost at the end of the exhibition. I now invite you to come into the last room, and I would suggest it's a bit of a knockout. Come and have a look. It's fantastic. The Shearer works are extraordinary.
I didn't watch it. These two paintings earlier out of my exhibition. This little boy, the Rainer Bub, is an early work of 1910, a masterpiece. And you see a young boy, actually it's an old man. Look at his hands. The other one, which is a jewel, is this Egon Schiele self-portrait in the Pfauenjacke. You see him. He was always standing in front of a mirror, you see this, and painting himself. And always in different